Good evening, student. This is Arindam Bag here, and today our topic is the adventure of Tom Sawyer. Previously, in my previous presentations, I have completed the first 18 chapters, provided you the summary, and we are moving to the next part. So, here it is. We are in chapter 18. So now Tom has come back, already came back to his place again, and they arrived from Jackson Island, and there was some situation brewing up between Becky and there was. It appears that Tom has a competitor about Becky, and a little bit of jealousy is working out there, and Tom is himself responsible for that. Tom was not giving attention to Becky, so Becky was a bit frustrated. Now we are moving to chapter 19-20. So two of this chapter will be completed. So what you got here at noon, Aunt Polly immediately accosts Tom for lying to her. She has visited Mrs. Harper. I hope you remember who is Mrs. Harper. Mrs. Harper is the mother of Joe Harper, who was a partner in the adventure of Jackson Island, where Tom and Huck Finn was also with him. And they found that Tom had actually been over that night, and they realized that Tom heard all the things they were discussing about, and they he pretended was in a wonderful dream. So it was like a situation when Aunt Polly realizes that Tom watched all the things from the window, and he says, "No, I was actually in a dream. I came into the dream." In addition, Tom lied to her. It is the humiliation she suffered from being made a fool. She realizes that she was made fool by Tom, and that's why she was very unhappy. It makes me feel so bad to think you could let me go to Serena Harper and make such a fool of myself and never say a word. So Tom admits that his actions were mean, yes, obviously, but it was childish. It's okay. He was, enjoying his time, but he didn't intend to be mean. We also understand, being the reader of this novel, we understand Tom's heart is very clear. It's very transparent. He can create some mess, but he do not have any evil intention. Instead, he came over. He tells her to let her know that she should not be uneasy about him. Aunt Polly believes it is another lie. Tom is earnest that he came only to keep you from grieving. Aunt Polly wants to believe him still, cautious. He is still careful because once she had the experience. Now she is handling Tom for a long time. She knows that Tom is what kind of character Tom is. Tom explains that when he heard them planning the funeral, he thought it will be fun suddenly to give all the people a sudden surprise, and this is the reason he didn't leave the note on the bark. So now it is clear the two notes. One note was left in the hat of Joe in the Jackson Island. I'm talking about the previous chapters. And another note was with him. He didn't share that one. He brought it back. So he was planning for a surprise. That's why. Aunt Polly is surprised about the note, and after she sends him back to school, she goes to the closet to check his clothes. After vacillating back and forth about whether she should check for the note, she eventually does. Finding it, Aunt Polly's confidence in Tom, basic goodness, is restored. So Aunt Polly realizes that Tom has something. Previously she was not believing in Tom's character, his actions, but now somehow, after getting the note, she realizes that Tom was not lying. So basically, her faith on Tom was restored. Now, next, the scene with Aunt Polly encourages Tom to make up with Becky. So Tom was also looking forward to settle up all the issues with Becky, and when he approaches her, she strangely rejects him and storms away. So he was confused. She thought it was incomprehensible actions of girls, maybe some sort of mood swings which she is not aware of. Becky, meanwhile, has seen Alfred pour the ink over Tom's spelling book but decided not to tell that Tom will receive a whipping. While Becky was wondering about the classroom, she says that Mr. Dobbin stopped desk driving. So normally the teachers used to keep their books in the drawer, and there was a book on anatomy which reads when the class is busy with projects. So all the students are completely entranced about that nature of book. They have this curiosity what kind of book it is, why the teacher is always reading that book. So Becky got this opportunity and to find out what is the content of that book. She was trying to look in, and while doing so, she was seeing all the things, and suddenly there was a human figure stark naked. It's a book of anatomy. Obviously, there will be a human figure, and it will be naked. And suddenly there was a shadow appears, and it appears that it is Tom Sawyer. So she was trying to conceal the book, which she was not supposed to, handle or operate, or she was not supposed to use it at all. It was forbidden thing for her. And Tom suddenly sees this, and in the rush, she tore one of the pages. Now she is horrified because this offense will warrant a whipping in front of the entire class. So so now she is horrified because tearing a page like that, obviously she might receive some kind of punishment for that. So she blames Tom. She put this blame on Tom because Tom surprised him, and Tom thinks a little licking isn't that important and decides to let us sweat it out. Okay, I will. If this thing settle their issue, then I will accept it. What is the big deal? So the school begins. The ink spots on Tom's spelling book was revealed, and he was accused and whipped. It was planned earlier. Becky knows about it. Ironically, Becky is not happy as she thought she would be. It appears when this thing happened, Becky thought that obviously Tom will get some sort of punishment and he deserved it and Becky will enjoy it. But when the thing was happening in front of in front of her, the mistake, Becky was not actually happy to see the suffering or the punishment of Tom. So she justifies her silence by assuming that Tom is going to reveal her guilt about the anatomy book. And she was that concerned that, well, maybe he is getting this kind of punishment. Maybe he will reveal that guilt, that whatever she had did with the book, she tore the page, that will be revealed by him. But later in the afternoon, when all were busy, Mr. Dobbins removed his book and discovers the torn page. So he was asking who did it, and no one volunteers as usual. Common sight in class. And when Becky Thatcher was asked, she turns her head away, and Mr. Dobbins orders her to look him in the face. Suddenly, Tom was heroic and suddenly springs to his feet and said, "I done it." So that means Becky was responsible for that. But instead of, blaming or rather identifying Becky as the culprit here, Tom himself took this blame on him. And Mr. Dobbins administers the most merciless flogging that he can. Tom, however, is consoled to the look of adoration in Becky's eye. When Becky saw this, so he was punished twice in a single day. Once for the inked exercise book, another for uh, uh, this incident. Mr. Dobbins' book was tore up. So Becky was, you know, she was not enjoying she didn't enjoy the previous punishment also, and this one Tom actually saved Becky. So she had some sort of adoration in her eyes. After that beating, he is forced to remain 2 hours after school. This is described as detention, as a punishment. But he doesn't mind. He knows that Becky will be waiting for him, and this is the biggest reward he is waiting for, instead of all this punishment, all this harassment, all the things. And indeed, he was right. She was waiting. She tells him of Alfred's treachery and her abetting it, but only her words, Tom, how could you be so noble, have any lasting meaning for him. So, this is the reward of the goodness which Tom received. Now we are moving to chapter 21. Last chapter was bit long. Let us find what we have here. In the end of the school vacation, this vacation was approaching. The schoolmaster, Mr. Dobbins, is determined that his student will make a good showing in the school's final exam, and that's why he is very liberal in the use of the rod and other punishments. That was the process of teaching then. Nowadays you cannot punish anyone, spare, you cannot punish anyone like that. He is very faithful in whipping the young students vigorously, frequently, and effectively. In our student, I am smiling because in our time, it was very common practice. The teachers used to whip us, or they used to cane us, for whatever the reason may be. But it was a practice, and it was okay at that time. But right now, it is not okay. It's a criminal offense right now. The smaller boys racked their brains for some suitable revenge against Mr. Dobbins. Yeah, it happens. The smaller boys, they were looking for some kind of revenge from Mr. Dobbins, because he was using his cane excessively, floggings. They conceived a wonderful plan, and they swear the sign painter boy into the plot, because the schoolmaster's bored at his father's house. So the night set aside for a display of learning arrives, and the school hall is lavishly decorated. Everyone in the town is present. The little folk recite their piece with great difficulty, pleased only to get it over. The highlight of the night is the reading of original composition by some older girls. Each theme is melancholy, filled with cliches, trite pronouncements. The winner is A Vision, a dreadfully gushy, melancholy piece with no originality. Now, is the time for revenge. The schoolmaster, so there was a sort of event was there. The event is completed. Now it is the time for revenge. Schoolmaster, who has been nipping from his bottle of private reserve liquor, is a little unsteady on his feet. He was enjoying some kind of liquor, so he was a little bit unsteady. And as he tries to draw a map of the United States, the audience begin to twitter. Not this one. They were speaking to each other. The Twitter, you might be thinking about the social media platform, microblogging. No, I'm not talking about that one. So the audience began to twitter. From above him in the attic, a cat is being slowly lowered through a trapdoor directly above his head. As soon as the cat can reach it, the cat snacks the schoolmaster's toopy, revealing his bald head, which had been gilded gold by the sign painter's son and which shone like a star. So he was humiliated in front of the audience. It was the plan of the students. They used a cat for it to show his bald head, which he was covering. So this is chapter 21. We are moving to chapter 22. Now Tom admires the uniforms of the cadet of temperance, and joins them, so he can start the fun funeral of Judge Fraser, who is dying. When the judge has a turn for the better, Tom resigns from the cadets of temperance, and the judge has a relapse and dies. So there was a funeral, but Tom is free from it. He attempts a diary, but nothing comes of it. He attends a minstrel show. He and Joe play minstrel for 2 days. Senator comes, but he is not impressive. Circus comes, leaves the next day, so the boys play circus for a while and then abandon it. It's a child's, young boys, they do things like this. Phrenologist, a mesmerizer comes, still the boys are bored and dreary. Then Tom has the measles for 2 weeks. Yeah, this is something which is very common in our childhood days also. Measles is better for a short time. At that time, we are supposed to inside, supposed to stay inside our home, isolation from the other children's. Is better for a short time, and then has a relapse that lasts 3 weeks. So for 2 weeks, for a short time he was better, and then another relapse. So 3 weeks. Between the two bouts with measles, all his friends get religion even, and he was completely outcast at that moment. He stayed inside. and his friends get religion even. Huck quoted some scripture. Some of them were remembering various religious scriptures. Even Huck also, the vagrant boy. But by the end of the second bout, all is normal again. But before the second bout appears, everything comes to normal. So that's what we got today. So this is chapter 22. I hope I gave you a good detail of that. Tried to give you a good detail of that within this limited time. I need to keep my presentation within 15 or 16 minutes. It's already 15:36. So one more request. Thank you for subscribing my channel. I just crossed 150 subscriber, but I've seen that many people are not subscribing it. It's free. Come on, subscribe it. Show your support. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.